Lately, we've really been seeing a lot of systems that we've kind of trusted in just kind of fall apart. It's been interesting to me. And, we have this food supply chain issue that's going on right now where we're wondering, are we going to be able to get food? And we're finding that products that we're used to buying aren't available any longer. We're watching an economic system that has skyrocketing inflation. Perhaps people have lost their jobs or aren't able to find a decent job at this point right now. There's medical issues, in my own personal life, and I know a lot of people can relate to this, where we had a lot of faith in the medical system. Maybe we're damaged by pharmaceuticals or found out that the pharmaceuticals they placed us on weren't, what we thought they might be as beneficial. In the case of benzodiazepines, we find that we didn't realize we were going to be stuck on them, like basically have to go through hell to get off of them. Or, Levaquin, antibiotics, fluoroquinolones, where we get damaged by them, sometimes permanently. The medical system with COVID vaccines, the changing science that's been going on there, and how that has been working. Different things with freedom of speech, the way we're being controlled with what we can say, how stuff that was once considered a conspiracy theory is now becoming actual fact. And no apologies for any of this, though it seems a lot of the systems around us we're watching just fail, just fall apart. People aren't tuning into the news as much as they used to because they're realizing, like, we're being spoon fed propaganda that is fueled by a corporate system that's paying for us to hear what they want us to hear, and paying also for them to ignore the important things that we really need to hear. It's a reminder that we live in just a really broken world. We really, and I wonder if God is showing a lot of us that these things that we have placed trust in for so long fail. Like, and it talks about this in the Bible. It talks about placing your trust in the person that's faithful, in the one that's faithful, in the, you know, stable. And it feels to me like God is kind of shaking the world right now and just saying, like, look, like, you can place your trust in all of these things that can be destroyed and fall apart. And we have for so long. Like, maybe that's why a lot of us were just so comfortable being living a life that was not connected to God or not dependent on God. We might have been dependent on, well, my job comes first, or, you know, and it's kind of almost rearranged things to where we start to see the importance of family, those we love, those we care about. We're starting to see the importance of God. I think it's almost been this awakening for people to realize that all of these things can just fall apart, and our faith needs to be placed in something stable, which is God. And it's it's a real faith builder for me. That's why I kind of wanted to share this video with people, because it's been such a faith builder for me. Like, as I've gone through life, when I was really sick, doctors weren't able to help me. Now, I'm not going to take away from, because the doctors did help me tremendously when my stomach ruptured and I had septic shock. I would have never made it without the help of the doctors and nurses and supportive staff that helped me through that. I mean, that's 100 years ago. I would not still be here today making a video. And there's real value in that. There's a lot of caring people in that system, and uh, you know, there's a definite need for that. But I think money has gotten involved, and corporations, and we're just seeing this kind of crumbling apart of people not trusting in the vaccines, or people not trusting in pharmaceuticals and different things, or people not trusting the media as much. And they're turning to these alternative media channels looking for something real. But the realest thing, the realest truth, I believe, is the words of God, the Bible, and just being able to understand that we have a Father that cares about us and that is in the end going to make things all right. Like that's such an encouraging thing to me when you sit there and you face these fears and you look at them and go, where can I place my trust? It's God. Like that's the only place we can place our trust, because as it predicts in the Bible, every other system will fail. The only stable rock is in Jesus. And I just wanted to make a really short video about that because I think it's important to, kind of meditate and ponder on that. Just the beauty of being able to have this Father that created the universe to have our backs, to work everything out for good. I've seen so much good through my life, despite all the bad, and it's God saying that He will always work our bad, even the things we do wrong. He'll work it out for good for those that trust Him. It blows my mind sometimes, and it's such a faith confirmer because when you actually see it happening, and you really see the effects of it in a tangible way when it comes to reality in your life, it's there's no other way but to have a strong faith in God and know that He has you. I remember there was a point when I was really sick, a few points where I thought I was close to death. The doctors were saying they didn't directly say you might not make it, but they were saying I was very sick, and that was the understanding. And the only place I could put my faith in, I mean, I of course had faith that some faith that they could help me, but it's still like ultimately the faith is in God, and my faith was that if I died, I prayed that God would use my death for good somehow, like how somehow maybe it would speak to somebody else or it would help somebody else in a way that eventually would perhaps change the course of their life. And it's such a freeing place to have no fear about, I mean, even facing death, like not having fear of dying, not having a fear of a financial collapse or a fear of food. I mean, the food, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there with supply lines and with just all the stuff that's going on there. Like we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But if we have faith in God, we know where we're going at the end. We know that God cares for those. He feeds the birds. It's just a really, I guess it's that peace beyond understanding that we get through God. Once we understand that, it's that peace that we just don't understand why we have it, but we have it because our faith is in something greater than anybody else. It's greater than a person. It's greater than an item here on earth. It's in a heavenly Father that created us and created the world we live in. And that's just such a reassuring place to be, in my opinion. And I think that's a big truth of the Bible. I really do. I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. I hope they're encouraging. On another note, I wanted to mention that I am trying to get a business going. I had this, it's kind of a crazy, I think it's a God whisper, a kind of a God moving in my life where I was praying for a way to start making an income. I'm healthy enough to where I can do something. It has to be limited because I do still have some bad days. I'm still going through benzodiazepine withdrawal. I still have some recovery to do from the septic shock. So I don't have great days to where punching a clock would be something easy for me. But I do know I can do something. I do know I can do something. And I think it would have to more be around the times when I am feeling good, when I am feeling well enough. Even making these videos sometimes can be a challenge because I might not feel well. I suffer from really bad headaches at points. I suffer from really bad anxiety at points from the actual physical withdrawal from these medications I'm getting off of. So the story is I had thought about, I need to make a resume, and I was really saying like, maybe I can just do customer service part-time. I don't know that I could, but I thought, let's try it. And I prayed for God to open some doors. Like, please open some doors, Father, for a way for me to make some income. And around the same time, I had reached out to somebody that had reached out to me probably 2 years ago, was really sick, had seen one of my videos on how Jesus had healed me. And we had spoke a lot and we had built a relationship and ended up kind of, following each other on Instagram. Hadn't talked anymore, but just life had gone on. And I had seen that this person had been doing better and then eventually was able to get married. And so I kind of reached out to him. I was like, hey, what happened? How are you doing now? And I just wanted to check in with them. And they had told me how they had not had a miraculous healing, but that they had gotten better. They were somewhat better at this point, and they were able to start living and functioning better than just living, where they were in bed all day. Similar to my story. But what was interesting was it was after this prayer that I had reached out to them and they had wrote back and they had mentioned that they ran a business, and I was kind of like, well, all right, but turns out they kind of they brought it up a second time and I was interested, like, well, I'm looking to start something. Like, what are you doing exactly? How are you? And it's through eBay. And I know that a lot of people try to make a successful way at eBay. I think a lot of people maybe give up a little too early and maybe don't know the right ins and outs of eBay. But this person's been really extremely successful on eBay, and they felt led by God to kind of mentor me through this personally. And I think it's awesome to be able to have somebody that's going to come and help me, like, step by step, to be able to realize perhaps something that's going to make a good amount of money for me. I don't need to be rich. If I was rich, I could help a lot of people out, but I do want to be able to have an income to be able to help myself, to be able to help those I care about. And then beyond that, if there's more income, I would love to be able to help others. I regularly, even with these small amount of money I get, I regularly try to donate to different groups that I believe in, that I believe are helping and doing God's work. So on a grander scale, I would love to be able to do that. But my reason for mentioning all of this is that I feel this is God-led, and I feel that through this mentorship, I can really accomplish a way to create a sustainable income for myself. The problem is the amount of income I have right now does not allow me to buy the products I need. I did spend a little bit of money and I don't have much, so I'm broke at this point. Like, that's just like a $0 bank account. I think I have like $5.36 right now to my name. So, I did invest some money, and I'm following this mentorship, but on a bigger scale, like, even if I made a couple of sales from the stuff I've listed, which I will in time, but it's not an overnight thing, especially when you're only able to list 3 or 4 products. So my hope is that through my subscribers, somebody could perhaps, or a few people could perhaps donate and help me to realize what I'm trying to do here, to give me a little seed money, I guess, a little seed money to plant into this business and to see what develops from it. I feel God is behind this. So I feel maybe if I bring it up to you guys, somebody will feel led to help out and donate some money so that I'm able to buy product that I can then resell and follow his plan, his mentorship one-on-one, to try to replicate exactly what he's doing. I don't need to make the kind of money he's making, but it would be nice to make just a small percentage, or just an amount to be able to take care of some of the basic needs I have. Even aside of, I would love to be able to have my own place and a car again and those things. But at this point, I'd be happy with just having magnesium and some of the different, food, like basic, what I consider care items, being able to buy soap. Like, I have soap right now, but with $5.36, I don't know where my next bar of soap's going to come from. So sometimes I've used like cheap 99-cent shampoo to wash myself, which is not a good place to be. I'm hoping this is God speaking to me, telling me that, hey, finally, like, here's something you can do. I'm going to have him teach you how to do it. And he feels the same way. He feels God led him to speak to me. So what I'm asking is that if you could please find it in your heart, if you feel led to donate something so that I can use that as startup money to get this business going. I'm kind of looking for some angel investors here that would help bless me. And through that, build a business, be self-sustaining, and then be able to bless others through it if I can make above what, I just require. I mean, I don't need a lot. I've learned for 16, 17 years now to live on very little. I don't need a lot. I would love to live on my own. I would love to have a car. I don't need a nice car. I don't need a new car. But there's certain things in life that I have been absent completely. So I'm hoping maybe this is a blessing from God, a way that God is showing me like, hey, Grady, thank you. You've, you've been helping people. You've been spreading my word. Like, let's bless you. Um, Unfortunately, I spend like 40 hours a week probably helping people through messaging and stuff. And generally it's the people I help that don't donate. It's usually people that don't need help that just find it in their heart to donate. So I'm asking if anybody could please give a little seed money for this. I would really appreciate it. If if you need help, I will try to help as many people as I can. I'm getting kind of overwhelmed here by the amount of people that are coming to me for help. It's great that I have that opportunity to help people, but at the same time, I need to figure something out money wise. Like if I could figure out something money wise and not have to ask for donations on here would be great. And I think I have that idea. That would be awesome. And then I could use that extra time to help others like I do without asking a single cent from them, which ultimately would be my goal. I would love to help people and answer a few of their questions and get them on a good track without having to be so without myself, like without able to, wondering where a meal is going to come from or whatever. So I have links down in the description. I also have links if there's any way I can help you. I will do the best I can to help you in the description below. I appreciate you listening to the whole message, and I believe God has big things planned. So I'm hopeful and I'm grateful for that. Until next time, guys, God bless.